And then secondly, your accent is still gonna give you away, okay? Because people in Africa, they don't find this kind of offensive to some diasporans. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Binta, and if this is your first time, thank you so much for tuning in, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also like this video. But if you're an oldie but a goodie, welcome back to my channel, and thank you so much for tuning in again. Okay, so because a lot of people are moving to Africa lately, especially African Americans, and basically diaspora Africans, like African Americans, British Caribbeans, and people in the Caribbean. So because a lot of people are moving to Africa, I wanted to do this video and kind of like talk about some of the things that you don't want to do, when you move to Africa. I know a lot of people talk about things you need to know or things you must do when you get to Africa. So today I am giving you things that you don't need to do or you don't want to do when you move to Africa. And okay, so one of the things that you do not want to do when you move to Africa is to be on your own. You don't ever want to be on your own when you move to Africa. Okay, you want to kind of mingle with Africans, like continental Africans. You want to mingle with the locals, you want to connect with them, you want to be able to join them in their parties or their gatherings. You want to be able to communicate with them all the time. You want to know about the continentals and the culture of the continental Africans, so that you can learn the things that they like and what they don't like, or what is okay to do in the country or what is not okay to do in the country. So being on your own, kind of you're going to, if you distance yourself from the people that live around you or the people that you live amongst, then you are going to have a problem, because people are not gonna care for you the way they should. Because in Africa, like, neighbors do care for each other. It's different from the diaspora, where you can be next door to your neighbor and they don't even know what kind of car you drive, or you can be next door to your neighbor, or you don't even talk for a whole year. It's different in Africa. When you're neighbors, you tend to communicate a lot, you tend to talk to each other a lot. Sometimes you even visit each other, you make friends, and your kids become good friends. So it's important that you don't distance yourself from the people that you live amongst. You want to be part of the community, you want to be part of the culture, you want to be part of the people, because you are now an African, or you've always been an African, but because you were in a different environment, you're not in the African continent. So it's kind of different. But if you're in the continent, you want to behave like them, you want to mingle with them, you want to have good connection with them, and you want to do every single thing that Africans do, so that they don't see you as somebody different. So yeah, never stay on your own. Okay, so the number two thing that you never want to do as a diaspora African, as a black African American, a British Caribbean, you do not want to behave like a tourist. Okay, because unless you want to behave like a tourist, but as an African, no matter where you're born and raised in, you do not want to behave like a tourist. No doubt people are still going to identify you as somebody who is not born and raised in Africa, but still you have to make sure that you're letting them know that you are not a tourist, and they should not treat you like a tourist. But that is also easy if you're not giving out that tourist vibe, or you're not giving out that tourist behavior. But if you're doing so, of course they're going to treat you like a tourist, and basically they're gonna see you like a tourist. Even if you're black, it doesn't matter. Okay, because this happens to us continentals as well. Some people would go and behave like, ooh, they don't know nothing about Africa, or they have not been in Gambia for the past 20 years, so they're so new, so they're different. And if you do that, people are gonna treat you like that. You know, people are gonna treat you like that. But it is most important, like most important for the people that are not born and raised in Africa. The blacks that are not born and raised in Africa. It's most important for you, because no matter what you do, they'll still identify you. I've said this before and I'm saying it again. Your scent is easily gonna give you away, okay? Because being in the diaspora, you have a different scent. I don't know how to say this, but that's just the truth. Like, and then secondly, your accent is still gonna give you away, okay? But if you are somebody who is letting these people know, hey, I'm not a tourist, I'm somebody like you, I was in a different, you know, place, now I'm here, I want you to treat me like the way you treat somebody born and raised in the Gambia or in Africa. So they'll treat you the same way, because people in Africa, they don't find this kind of offensive to some diasporans, but I noticed that diasporans do find it kind of offensive sometimes, that they are easily noticed or they're easily identified by others, because they'll ask you, you're not from here, you know, and when you talk, everybody looks behind and see who's talking, because your accent will give you away, okay? And this is different, because I know a lot of African countries have different accents. Me in Gambia, my accent is very different from somebody from Nigeria, but when a Nigerian goes to Gambia and a Nigerian talks, I don't have to turn and look who's talking, because I'm like, you know, it's a Nigerian, so I know their accent, so I'm not gonna turn, and I know it's an African accent. But when somebody like an American talks or a British talks, you know, they'll easily turn around. Like, I mean, everybody will turn around to look who just spoke. And it may sound kind of annoying, it may seem kind of annoying to a lot of people, but it is what it is. So it's important that you don't behave like a tourist, so they don't treat you like a tourist. Or even if they treat you like a tourist, you know, let them know, I am not a tourist, I want to be treated like an African, like a Gambian. You know, sometimes people don't get that, and they don't kind of find that offensive, even though it may be offensive. Anyways, the third thing that I want to say is, do not get involved in politics, okay? And this has to do with not just diasporans, but even other Africans moving to a different African country other than theirs, okay? And it's important you don't get involved in politics, or let me say, you can get involved in politics, but do not overstep your boundaries, okay? Especially if you are not a citizen of that country, because sometimes African politics can get very dirty. Politics itself is dirty in general, but African politics can get very dirty and violent, okay? Some people, so like I said, some people that get involved in politics in Africa, or some people that love politics a lot in Africa, you know, they don't think about, okay, the person you're fighting for really doesn't care about you sometimes, okay? Especially these African leaders. So people need to be very careful. But because people can get very violent when it comes to politics, you need to be very careful, especially when it comes to election season, because that's when people go crazy. That's when people do fight a lot, because every party is wanting to win, and the supporters are the main issue here, not even the party leaders. It's the supporters that be fighting or being violent to each other unnecessarily. So to safeguard your life and be safe and be in peace, you know, you want to be very, very careful when you move to Africa, not to get involved in African politics, or even if you get involved in it, you make sure you do to a certain extent, and if it's getting violent, you take yourself away from it. Very important. So the last thing I want to talk about is to not get involved in religion, okay? In a country like Gambia, it's very peaceful. Everybody lives in peace and harmony. You know, we have two religions, which is the Christians and the Muslims, and we all live in peace and harmony. So if you are a Christian, you know, be sure to not kind of like, you know, force your religion on other people, because you don't even know, especially if you don't know what their religion is. Or if you're Muslim, make sure you know like what religion a person is, and if they're comfortable talking about certain issues before you push it toward them. So that's very important, okay? Because religion can be very funny, and some people don't find it funny if you want to, you know, push your beliefs to them, and I don't really blame them. I don't like it either when people try to push their beliefs to me, but I can handle it, and if I don't want to talk about it, I'll say I don't want to talk about it. Okay, so sometimes you need to, you know, connect with people first. You need to know what religion they are in and what they like to talk about. If they're comfortable talking about your religion and their religion together, then fine. But if you don't know all this, you don't have to push your beliefs to them, especially in a country like Gambia where you have majority Muslims. So if you're Christian, it is very important that you keep your religion to yourself, you know, your beliefs to yourself, unless you know you're talking to somebody who is a Christian who will not find it offensive. You know, it's important that you keep everything to yourself, you know, do your thing and let them do their thing, because that can be another mistake, because some people love to argue about religion. I have a friend that loves arguing about religion. But yeah, it's not wise and advisable. Especially, I was watching also another YouTuber who, you know, went to a school. I know people kind of find that offensive. A lot of people talked about it, you know, that this guy went to a school and, you know, kind of like was like talking about, you know, Christ, and but I guess people were like, oh, if that was my kid, you know, I'm gonna be offended. And I understand where people are coming from, because the thing is that you don't even know what religion those children or their families are in, and you don't know if the school or the teachers are comfortable, you know, letting these kids know these things, because most likely it's possible that the school is not teaching anything concerning religion to those kids. So for that reason, you may not have the right to do that, but they may let you because you're a diaspora. So maybe they'll be like, oh, the person doesn't know, so let's just let it be. But it's very important that we don't, you know, push our beliefs to other people. Do not push your beliefs to other people. Know the people you're talking to, know their beliefs, if it's, you know, the same as yours, you know, so you can talk about it. But if not, just keep your thing to yourself, keep your religion to yourself, keep your beliefs to yourself, and just do your everyday normal thing like everybody else does, instead of trying to talk about religion. So yeah, basically that is it for this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. If you do, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. Until I see you in my next video. Bye guys.